the strat plan can set the assumptions for the corporate budget, and it can allow us to do that what if, as you've said, Mike. So I'm going to drill down into the strat plan. And again, this is just an example, just to see, you can see the power of the application in terms of creating new things. So let's maybe add, in this particular case, we're going to add a client. Or we could add new recruiters, we could add new capacity, we could add a new market, add a new brand. So you've shown in the previous scenarios, I've just shown a percentage uplift. Well, this is something entirely new. We're now planning for something that isn't really business as usual. So in this particular case, I'm going to add a client. I can add an entity, a whole new business if I wanted to, but I'm going to just add a client. And I'll call this tech shop. So I've won a new business, or I'm planning for winning a new business, a new client. So I added that, and you can see here, for instance, what it's done is added it to this little table here, which allows me to set some very high level assumptions. So I can make these assumptions as detailed and as complex as possible, but I'm just, for today, let's set a simple hourly unit cost and hourly unit price. So we'll make this a low margin, low priced business, maybe light industrial or something like that. And what we're going to do here is I'm going to set this based on another sales plan. So I've got a sales plan maybe for a similar business. That might be a good starting point. So I can consume data from it to create the basis for this, which is very powerful. So what I might want to do is I'm going to pick Harper, and I'm going to take, say, 80% of that Harper plan across, but based on these unit prices and unit costs, and I'm going to update it. Now, what it's doing is copying plans behind the scenes and creating a new 5-year plan. I mean, that's what's actually happening behind the scenes here. And you can see here, it's added it here, and it's asked me, well, which markets are you going to do? Those could be states. So I could be doing this state by state. So I want to roll out a new, for instance, I want to roll this client out, basically, or this contract out in maybe California or Ohio or whatever it might be. But in this particular case, I'm going to kind of make it, I'm going to add it to the US business, and I'm going to add it to the Canadian business. I'm going to just quickly do an update. And now it's available for me to look at a reporting level. So let's just quickly go to the strat plan, this tab, and you can see there's nothing on it. If I look at the DARE, actually it wasn't a DARE, there it is, tech shop. It's now here, and I click that. The details have been brought through. The basis for this average, best, and worst scenario is the plan and the assumptions that I used on the other screen. But you can see I haven't really got any variations between each scenario. So I could actually add a new scenario. I don't just have an average, best, worst. I could have an acquisition scenario. I can have a de-investment scenario. I could have a multi-state scenario. I could have a new legislation scenario. Whatever you want. This particular case, I'll just keep these scenarios. And what I'm going to quickly do is, on my average, I'm just going to grow that out, say 2%, and copy that down. Again, very much like Excel, that's the beauty of it. So I'll just copy these rows here, 2%, and then drag that out. And I'm going to copy that and put it here, and then put it here. And what I'll make is, my best case scenario is 5% with, say, 1.2% growth times 1.2. And I'll drag that out here. And for Canadian, it's going to be the same as. And for my worst case, I'm actually going to make that 1% actually in the first 2 years. So I can play around. I mean, again, the level of assumption is simple, year-on-year growth. I could be putting in any sort of assumptions. I could be putting different assumptions for different burden costs, or I could get as granular as I want. It's just a simple example. Now, if I update, Obviously, I now have updated these, so it's shown obviously a lift, and it's given me 3 primary positions. Now that's fine. I could potentially use one of these. This has created a 5-year target. I could use these to maybe do some budget setting at the next level. So I'm going to drill down to Power BI. And this is the beauty of one-staff planning, is this bidirectional capability to pass data to Power BI and immediately visualize it. So I've come in, and what I'm expecting to see, I've just added data, is there's TechShop. So TechShop has come through to my data, and I'm now visualizing the performance by scenario and doing some analysis by country, by region, looking at my average, best and worst. You can see there is TechShop. It's obviously only just a small contributor. So that data has been written. Now, obviously, I could then use the power of OneStaff, for instance, to slice and dice. I'll show a little bit more of that later, but that bidirectional capability is extremely powerful.